and yeah, really welcome to Harris. He's been with us just for a few weeks. Might come in contact with Mike McNulty as well, who's product owner. He part of the Catalyst community before he joined IOG, and then over the course of the weeks and months, we've got these new pathways that are developing, right, and have either launched or we're about to launch. So these are routes into new sort of programs and training and resources and support, and there are obviously very numerous people that you might engage with from IOG and beyond. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a while. Okay, so now it's your turn. So I'm going to come off of screen share now, and this is really just to satisfy proof of life, guys. So what we'd like you to do is just to step up, let us know who you are, where you're calling in from. I'm quite interested to know, maybe we can just do a quick show of hands with the raise hands. Who is being funded by Catalyst for the very first time? That's awesome. That's awesome. So we've got about, give or take, about half of you. That's super cool, right? So there's definitely an opportunity for you guys that are newly inducted to link up with someone that that has already been funded. So can I ask you, I think this is a good idea. Can everybody that's being funded for the very first time go to the reactions and the little emoji for raise hands? And what I'd like you guys to do is I'm going to get you guys to start. And yeah, so what we want you to do is just to let us know your name, where you're calling in from, what your project proposal name is, and which challenge it was that you were funded on, if that's okay. And I'm going to start with Andre. Good to see you, Andre. It looks like you're where we had coffee.
Hello, Chris. No, I'm in another cafe, but yeah, I'm in a cafe now. I hope the sound is fine. I was actually yesterday on the call, so thanks a lot for doing a great presentation. I'm from Ukraine. I'm happy that we had a chance to meet in person. And actually, I hope that in December, if you're here, that we'll do a big event, Cardano on the Catalyst. Just 2 days ago, I met Roman Olinikov from IOHK, and we had a big blockchain event, big conference, the biggest in the Eastern Europe, with around 2,000 people. It was a really great presentation on the Catalyst.
Oh, wonderful.
And I had an interesting communication with him afterwards, like on some technical sides and some even the future things which are being in the process. And
so Andre, can I sorry, just to interrupt you, sorry, just because we've got quite a bit to get through.
Yeah.
Can I just
just to be brief, I'm in Project Catalyst since Fund 1, so in the focus group, and I've been submitting since the time many projects, and even in this fund I had some community related which didn't pass, but luckily my project building Algorand Cardano DeFi bridge, it passed in the DeFi category, and I already started working on it during the research and speaking with people who are working in this bridge creation industry between the blockchains. And well, basically that's it.
Thanks very much, Andre.
I would be happy to connect with everyone if that's your topic. So,
nice to see you, Andre. Thanks so much for that. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to suggest, because we've got quite a bit of a presentation to get through after this, that we just rifle through just so you guys are where you're showing up from, what the proposal is and what the challenge is, if that's okay. So I'm going to come to Simon now, if I can.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Simon. I'm here in the Catalyst community for since 2018. I represent one is the multi-language challenge, and the other is the Eastern Town Hall partnership. And yeah, thank you for being here. And
welcome. And just to confirm, which challenges were they in?
They were in the multilingual resources, both of them.
Fantastic. Oh, thanks very much, Simon. Really appreciate it. Awesome, awesome. So now I'm going to come to Homer, and then I'm going to go to Vladimir.
Hello, everyone. So I'm part of the team that's responsible for the Koios Elastic API layer proposal. So I'm one of the guild operators, and I'm also the stake pool operator on the Cardano network. So looking forward to the challenge.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Homer. I'm going to Vladimir next, if that's okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vladimir. I'm calling from Munich, Germany. So our proposal is private transactions on Cardano, and the category is dApps and integrations.
Thanks very much, Vlad. And welcome. So Peter and then Alan.
Is that working? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Peter calling in from sunny Gold Coast, Australia. Our proposal was the automated phishing and scam detection bot. It's live and operating, and we're just working through the front end side of things to make that user experience a little bit better, and people can tap into the API and the database. And we're in the Cardano emerging threats category.
Fantastic. Thanks, Peter. I'm a big fan of Noosa and Mooloolaba. Spent my younger years there. Okay,
come back anytime.
Yeah, thank you. Hope so.
So I think it's my turn. So I'm Alan. I do some Catalyst live translation, and the name of our project was a translation collaboration platform, which is part of the Multilanguage Resources Fund that we do in collaboration with Johnny, that couldn't now join, that is doing more the German part, and I'm more for the French part. And the aim is just providing always here is to provide a platform for translator to meet, organize, and so we can make the Cardano content available for in more languages.
Thanks very much, Alan. Good to have you on board. And I'm coming to Alejandro and then Bezawit, please.
From lovely Buenos Aires, Argentina, together with Phil here in the call. We were awarded an honor to be here. Our Proposals Mentor Marketplace proposed in the Proposer Outreach Challenge. Thrilled to be here. Thanks all.
Very much welcome. Thanks, Alejandro. Bezawit. You're on mute at the moment.
Sorry. Okay. Hello, everyone. So excited to join you. I'm joining in from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. My project is the Challenges and Grow.
We just lost Bezawit.
Africa Grow card.
Maybe switch your video off if you can.
And then my project was added. Have a good day, everyone.
Thanks, Bezawit. Can I just, with your video off, can I just ask you just to confirm your project name and your challenge again, just one more time, please? Hey,
my project's name is
It's okay, we'll try later.
Try and get that. By all means, feel free to type it. Yeah, we had a bit of a challenge hearing you then, so but it's not no worries. We can confirm that you are a real life human being, which I'm really pleased about. So Steve, and then Robert.
Steve Aldrich, Northeast Florida, US. My project is Community Subscription Fees Recoup in the Catalyst Value Onboarding Challenge.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve. Super snappy. Nice.
Mine won't be so snappy. Robert O'Brien, coming in from New Zealand, Aotearoa. I've got two projects that have been funded. One is the retroactive project funding SDK, and which is basically a implementation in Plutus of a pretty novel sort of project financing mechanism. The other one is give users security. Oh, sorry, I should say the retroactive project funding was in the developer ecosystem. And the other one is in the metadata challenge, which is give users security and confidence, which is a standard specification for something called a Ricardian contract.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Robert. I'm excited to have some Antipodean friends with us today for sure. Marcus and then Victor, please.
Hi guys, I'm calling from Vienna, Austria, and I was in a challenge distributed decision making, and my proposal was Cardano smart voting. So using algorithms to make it fast and easy to vote on Cardano. Really excited to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you here. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Hey Victor, how are you?
Hey, hi everyone. So my name is Victor. Usually calling from Rio, Brazil, but currently I'm in Barcelona, in Spain. And I'm here to give my proof of life for two different proposals. The first one is Catalyst School focused in Africa, in Grow Africa, Grow Cardano Challenge. And the second one is Catalyst Exploratory Data Analysis in Distributed Decision Making. And that's it. Thanks.
Oh, you're so welcome. Okay, Hosea, good to see you again. And then Felix, good to see you again. You want to take yourself off mute, Hosea?
Right. Hello, everyone. I have to join again because yesterday I joined from a background that I couldn't manage the line. My name is Dr. Jose. I'm from Nigeria. Project is DeFi Credit Union, aircraft setting. Is a means to put funds together and obtain credit without giving up capital. It's in the category DeFi and micro lending for Africa. It's the use case of the parent project to finance a decentralized personal finance wallet of many use cases that considers the unique African economic ecosystem. Thank you, everyone.
Yay, fantastic. Thanks very much. Felix.
It's just to rejoin because I had to hop off yesterday in the heart of the call. And representing the Swarm here, once with Idea Fest for Fund 6 and 7 and the DLT Entrepreneurship Toolbox Challenge, and after Town Hall by Swarm in Proposal Outreach Challenge.
Amazing. Thanks so much. Okay, so that's everybody that's not been funded before. How about you guys hands up the other vets, and then we can just rifle through you guys and say hi. So hands up, please, guys. All those that didn't already speak. George, I'm going to come to you, then Stephen.
Hey guys, so London, United Kingdom, George, been a proposer since Fund 3, and I'm representing PACE, which is Project Accelerating the Catalyst Ecosystem. We got funded for 4 proposals in challenges, community credentials in Atala Prism, mass scale adoption, in improved auditability, we've got media reports and progress reports. And then in the DLT Entrepreneurship Toolbox, we've got the idea collaboration tool. So if anyone needs any help or guidance on catalyst related things, please come to me and I'll see if I can help and unburden IOG sometimes.
Amazing. Thanks very much, George. Good to see you. Stephen, how you doing?
Yeah, really good, thank you. George is a hard act to follow. I feel like a pedestrian compared to that, but my name's Steve, so I'm representing a group of 3 guys who have been funded previously for Fund 5, who worked on a protocol for establishing Oracle performance metrics. And in Fund 6, we've been funded to bring that to the mainnet, essentially. So with 3 real-world use cases. I'm really excited to be part of this again.
Absolutely. Good to see you again. I really enjoyed talking to you a few weeks back. And it was the middle of the night for you as well. So I really appreciate that you were so astute.
No, thanks for making the time this time around. 9 p.m. is perfect time on it. It's a Friday, but I love the time. Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, welcome. Okay, I'm going to come to Tien and then Ashish.
Hello. Yeah, can you? Hey guys. Okay, sorry.
Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm still in office, so there are some magician I can turn on my camera. So this is the first time for my project to get fund, and the first time I submit project to Catalyst. I come from Vietnam. Nice to see you, and my honor to work with all of you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Tien, can you just mention your project name and which challenge it was again, please?
My project name, our project name is Bring Smart Contract to Vietnam. It belongs to multilingual resources.
Fantastic. Really, really welcome and great to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, Ashish, how are you?
Hey, awesome man. How are you?
Very good.
Hey guys. My name is Ashish, and we have won 3 proposals in developer ecosystem in Fund 6, and this is our third Catalyst funding round. I'm just gonna put the proposal names in the chat here. Yeah, thank you guys.
Sweet, thanks very much, Ashish. Good idea. So, Phil, I'm going to come to you, and then last but not least, Carl.
Hello, this is Phil from Australia, but coming out of St. Petersburg, Russia. Hello, yes?
That's okay. I just realised there's someone I've forgotten as well.
Okay, sure. Coming out of St. Petersburg, Russia. I'm here representing AIM, which got funded for quite numerous proposals. Some of them were proof of life yesterday by Lucio. So I'm here to do the community site development AIM. This is a previously funded proposal with extended funding. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Phil. Kyle, how you doing?
Very good. How are you? It's good to see you, Chris.
Good to see you, man.
Everybody. Hey, so I'm involved in the Adoja IoT project. I've been involved in Catalyst since Fund 2. This is my third proposal funded. What we're going to deliver under this fund is our smart contract for a peer-to-peer marketplace. And that's for an existing Wi-Fi control system that's already in production. And, you know, I kind of figured out what I want to build long-term. And so we've got a team of 16 that's come together. And we're going to be making an announcement pretty cool about what we're going to do. And we're going to tie it into this smart contract that we've got funded. So we've got Quinn. We have a smart contract developer who's working with us, who's already deployed multiple smart contracts on Cardano. So we're very relieved to have that in place. So we're excited about that.
Amazing, man. Well, it's great to have you back in the coordinator. I mean, you never really left, right? So, and great to see that you got more funding and we're pushing on. And Sydney, last but not least.
Hello, everyone. Sydney Nicholas. I am with WADA. I'm in the Detroit metro area, and the proposal is Green Line lending in Ghana, and the category is DeFi and micro lending for Africa.
Hey, fantastic. Oh, Nguyen. Do we have Nguyen with us as well? Oh, Tien. Oh, Tien did speak. Has anybody not spoken? I'm going to take that as a good sign. Congratulations, everybody. You've just graduated to level 2. Hey. Woo, 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 woo. We can now happily provide the funding. Everybody's shown up. Thank you very much. So now I'm going to get into some of the specifics around the coordinator, particularly for those of you guys that are new to this part of Catalyst. I'm going to try and make this fairly snappy so we can just get into some of the Q&A. Just bear with me a moment while I set up my screen again. Okay. Oops. Hey, welcome to level 2. So, okay, what we're talking about now is what the Catalyst coordinator is, your obligations to the community, and then how it sort of works in terms of funding logistics. And we'll have a Q&A. I would suggest that anybody that's been through this presentation, like once or twice before, I think it's fair, Danny, that we say that, we don't need to keep you on the call for any longer than you want to be here. I mean, by all means, stay if you'd like, but we appreciate that you might have other things to get on with as well. But for those of you that haven't heard this presentation, it's important you stay so you do understand some of the nuances to how things are these days. We're certainly, we've evolved processes since 6 months ago. So for those of you guys that might have been funded a bunch of time ago for a much earlier fund, this might be a refresh and give you some new insights. But to get on with it, the Catalyst coordinator, well, this is all of you guys all together, right? You guys collaborating, hopefully, cross projects, or certainly communicating cross projects at the very least, and with the intention of really bringing all this value, not just through your own developments, but just through your interactions with each other, and bringing this value to Cardano, right? We're super focused on growing the health of this ecosystem. I think we've got a pretty healthy ecosystem already, and we're only a year into Catalyst. And we talk a little bit about well, what does the future look like? Remember from Dor's presentation at Summit, we can't foresee where we're going to be in 10 years' time. But what we can say is that if we carry on this trajectory, over the next 12 months, we're going to fund thousands of projects. Something like 4,500 by the end of next year, if numbers stack up. So, there is a lot of ambition that, you can coordinate yourselves in order to solve the challenges that you're addressing. Because, we talked a little bit earlier on about the scale challenges as well. So it really is important that you guys are seeing each other as peers and certainly not as competition. There's a lot of knowledge and expertise that can be shared amongst yourselves, at a far greater scale than what can come from IOG, directly down to you guys. You guys are the boots on the ground that are building all these tools and learning as you go along. So we really encourage you to share that, and we want to provide the right platforms to do that. So this coordinator is really all of the funds and all of the cohorts as an amalgam, being more than the sum of all your parts. Part of the reason for this being so important is that it really does help to establish trust with those that voted you in. And, because accountability to the community is such an important part of the Catalyst process, and going to become increasingly more important as more and more of the community get involved with, maybe mentoring or helping to grow your projects or audit your projects as time sort of develops. This coordinator concept and you guys coming together to be more than some of the parts and overcoming challenges together, it is really important to help bring and further legitimacy to the community, to the ecosystem. And, we also want to provide this coordinator program, so this post-award set of activities. I wouldn't quite call it a program, but we want to provide this place and this space and time as a way and a vehicle to then help expose you guys to other sorts of pathways and supports that we've been developing over the past months. Some of these have already launched, some are about to launch, and by sort of participating in the coordinator and being diligent with your reports and whatnot, and giving us more information than maybe what we're asking for, and really celebrating your successes, it's going to provide a lot of opportunity to get exposed, as I said, to these different pathways, and that hopefully help to build more value into your projects. So so you can see there, you guys are intended to be more than some of your parts. We have a bi-weekly meeting, and this is, as Kyle and I guess some of the OGs will remember, it has definitely changed over time. What we use these bi-weeklies for is another meeting to record and share with the community, we sort of ask that, you show up as often as possible, but we appreciate that, sometimes it doesn't play out with your diaries, of course. So what we'd ask is that one representative of your team ideally shows up every 2 weeks. We are breaking out by challenges these days. So there's a much smaller peer group to share ideas with. And what we're asking you to share on those meetings is just progress. What went on since the last time you met? What are the next big milestones coming up? Any sort of call outs for support that you need? Any challenges that you might need some to source the hive mind to address? But rather than every single person that's been funded under Fund 6 and all the other funds coming together, and it just being chaos on a Zoom meeting, we're breaking out by smaller groups. And so that way you kind of get to know each other a bit better, and you can learn a bit more about each other's projects and share ideas about how you're delivering. They're only intended to be about an hour or a bit longer meetings, though, obviously if you're self-coordinating and self-organizing, however long you guys want to stay on for is entirely up to you. There's a lot of benefit in just being able to chew the fat, right? And especially in this sort of distributed remote world. Okay, so we are asking that these reports that are part of the coordinator are adhered to. And the main reason is that you're reporting to the entire Cardano community, all the people that have voted for you, all the people that supported you, that you can campaign to, the coordinator meetings. That's one part of this process. But then we've also got hopefully a much more lighter touch reporting mechanism that just allows to surface good information that we can then share on town halls. We can post publicly. And yeah, we can celebrate your good news and any challenges that you got coming up. So what these reporting forms look like, Danny, whilst maybe on the fly, do you think you could change these slides just so it doesn't have the deadline for the progress report and the KPI report, perhaps?
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Yeah. So the
key is just the message there. So
yeah, exactly. 2 forms. They'll come out one at in the first week of the month, and that's your project progress report. It's a pretty fluid form where you're just reporting on what your key successes have been, any challenges, anything that you need to ask IOG, and we've got a sheet that's able to surface that information really easy. That Khaled, Danny, and I are managing on the back end. So you get that. We'll be reporting that announcing those reports to you via Telegram, and we'll email out when there's calls for the deadlines. And then on the 3rd week of the month, there's the KPI report. Now I want to spend a little bit of time talking about these KPIs because I think it's this is a point in time, and this is what we're changing for Fund 6. You guys wrote your proposals there or thereabouts 3 months ago, right? And what might have changed in the last 3 months might mean that you need to rethink what your KPIs look like. Now, what I mean by that is maybe the scope of the project hasn't changed, but what we certainly see is that maybe some of the measures and the metrics for auditing that you set out in your proposals that the voters voted on and the community advisors assessed, what we see is that a lot of the KPIs that have been set at that point are more relevant for once you've finished the project, right? Let me put that into context. Okay, say like you're deploying a DApp and you're saying that one of your measures are going to be daily active users. Well, how are you going to measure your KPIs during the project while you're building it? When you're not going to have DAUs until after you've deployed it, and maybe months and months after the project and the scope of the funding is ended. So the reason why I'm saying this is that we've now got a point in time with this first KPI report, which is going to be coming in a couple of weeks, for you guys just to look at what you put forward in your proposals as your measures and just ask yourself the question, do these make sense during the scope of the funding? And if they don't, then maybe just give it some more thought and, propose in that first report what it is that you're going to be tracking as the measures of your progress and your KPIs for the scope of the funding project, right? Something that, and one of the reasons for that is that when you're reporting, one of the things we don't want is for you just to be reporting 0 every single time, or that you haven't made any, that there's nothing towards the KPIs. I'm sure every single project you could have a think about whether the KPIs that you put in the proposal are relevant for the scope of the project delivery processes and phase. Maybe there'll be KPIs on top of that you want to keep in there around, post-project, post-launch. Fine, that's fair enough. But just be mindful, obviously, that when you're reporting on this over the course of the next weeks and months, that that you're only going to gain that traction for those KPIs way after the project's finished. And obviously, we want to hear about those great successes. Like if you guys start, delivering a lot of traction, which I'm sure most of you will, we want to know about it. But maybe for the context of these reports, just so you can sort of stay accountable to the community, and as the data and tools kind of get developed, that you're able to contribute and not feel like you're not achieving what it is that you set out to achieve. So TLDR, have a think about those KPIs and report them as such, and when the report comes out to you guys. So yeah, we say that the reports are shared on social channels, and there are various spaces that they're made available. Those who don't complete the reports, your funding will be halted. So it's just a question that you're going through the reporting process as part of the sort of stage gate and mechanism to then release the next portion of funding. So yeah, it shouldn't take a great deal of time to complete these reports, and hopefully it's not too onerous for you. What I would say is that if there's anything sensitive that you wouldn't want shared in a public forum, but are sort of pertinent to the project and maybe your progress, because obviously if there's a challenge to your project or an issue, we should know about it. But if there's anything sensitive, then just call it out in the progress report that you don't want this to be shared publicly. But this is the status quo or the state of play or whatnot, and we'll be able to see that on the back end and take note of it. And we're also asking that people volunteer to participate in town hall, particularly when there's key news to share about your projects. And we really want to celebrate you and provide you as much opportunity to get in front of the community as possible. In instances when there aren't teams willingly volunteering, Danny will often come to you guys and ask if you can just show up and take the stage and talk to us a little bit more about your projects. Hopefully that's not too scary for most people. It is just talking about all the good things that you're doing after all. And fairly new to what we're being able to offer as added value support are a bit more about these pathways that we're going to talk about now. So we really understand that there's a great deal of value from you guys collaborating and getting the most out of the coordinator and the cohorts that you sort of sit within. But we also appreciate there's additional sort of expertise and resources and gaps that you might need to plug in your projects and knowledge and whatnot. Maybe if this is one of the first times you're launching a business venture, for example, or you just want to tap into maybe people with a lot of experience in growing products. So we're putting out there now that there are all these different opportunities to take advantage of. You guys are being funded. Now there is a pathway directly into the Plutus Pioneers program, as Dor mentioned in his welcome. And there's the Atala Prism Pioneers program, which is soon to launch. So again, in your onboarding forms, there should have been a checkbox for you to sort of identify which of the projects and programs that you're interested in finding out more about. And then beyond those two programs that IOG are running, we've also initiated currently 2 incubator and accelerator programs. One called the Catalyst Boost Camp, which maybe some of you would have heard about on Town Hall this week, if you hadn't heard about it already. And we're launching the IO Incubator which is exclusively for Africa-focused projects. So those that have been funded under Africa-related challenges or have a real key Africa focus that we've been able to call out and identify from your proposals. There's a pathway into potentially an accelerator program, which we'll just go through right now. So the Boost Camp, just to let you know about this, it's a 4-week program for entrepreneurs, really focusing on sharpening your tools to communicate your ideas to stakeholders, like investors, your audiences, customers, users. It's about sort of defining your business project and your roadmap and your strategy. There's a really cool collaborative tool, a digital platform that has been developed by the team at Entrepreneurdy. And so Entrepreneurdy are working with us to provide this digital platform and short course. You guys essentially get to have 9 sessions with the Entrepreneurdy team, and hopefully over the next few cohorts, more experts, maybe from IOG and outside, will coming to drop in and sort of give some insights. I'm working on that at the moment, but certainly there's these 9 workshop sessions to sharpen your entrepreneurship skills. There's one-to-one sessions and sort of peer-to-peer learning and sort of facilitation. It's not really a learning program. It's not really lectures. There is learning to be done, but essentially it's about you guys building out your strategies and then communicating amongst your sort of peers within those groups. We hold these cohorts typically between 10 to 15 teams at a time. You all meet virtually, and then at the end of each session, there's then the next stage of a module to go into and get prepared to present for the next session. I mean, this you'll get the slides in any case, but it's about developing your projects, as it says here. But I want to show you what it really looks like. As I said, there's these different modules. It's not a typical course, as it says, where you passively learn and listen to a lecturer. Instead, it's that you work on your case, and then you do that in the platform and then present it to your peers. And it's about, looking at what's your motivation for doing the project in the first place, the problem that you're trying to solve, what your values and vision for it is, what resources you have available to you or can make use of, developing out the scope of your business idea and models, and then looking at those key objectives to delivery. And it says forecast here, and I want to just address, this isn't asking you guys to become Excel ninjas and economists overnight. In fact, what we do is we make it really, really simple, and it's a really, really intuitive way to, almost at the drop of a hat, produce a cash flow forecast and, roadmap for your finances and, other types of forecasts without you needing to know anything on how to do anything in Excel. In fact, you don't touch Excel in this. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just about thinking through what's realistic and then you entering some data. That's about it. So you do this within their digital tool set. If you apply and come into the cohorts within the Boost Camp, all will be revealed there. But we've had a lot of good input from the first cohort on what its strength of projects and program strengths were. We know what we want to do to tweak it. But the good thing is that right now it's entirely free for you guys. It's an opportunity for you to take advantage of. We'll for fund 6 funded proposers. It's the next 2 or 3 cohorts that we will focus on you guys. We'll obviously make it available to the other funds as well that have come before you guys, but because there's so many of you, there'll be an opportunity, I would say, for you guys to really take advantage of this whilst it's available over the course of the next 3 or 4 months. And then hopefully these accelerator programs will continue their engagement. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that in just a moment. So for those guys that are Africa focused, we do have this IO incubator, which is being run in partnership with ICE Addis out of Ethiopia. And essentially, we're going to run a Catalyst Boost Camp for the African funded projects. You'll go through this program this 4-week program, and whilst you're developing out your business cases and strategies, the team at the IO Incubator are going to be looking to bring you into the IO Incubator. And it's going to be available for up to 15 ventures next year. You'll be part of a 3 to 6 month accelerator program. And what this is expressly for is really to get those Africa projects in front of some of the valuable stakeholders that are going to help to build your projects and your businesses beyond the scope of the Catalyst funding. So the team at ICE-ADIS have really good inroads and networks with governments, enterprises, technologists and technology sort of ecosystems and networks. And so, you know, the ambition is for the IO incubators to really open doors for those Africa-focused projects. Okay, so as it says, shows on the flow, there'll be an application process, as there is for the Boost Camp as well. You go through the application process, you're selected to be put on the Boost Camp, and this is, you know, sort of relevant for the other projects as well. You have to apply to go onto the Boost Camp. There's a limited number of seats, and then you'll be notified if you're going to be going through it. But for the IO Incubator, those Africa-focused projects, you go through the Boost Camp, and then ICE-ADIS and IOG will evaluate the businesses that should be in that accelerator program. And then in January, we're going to kick off, which is going to be a start of boot camps and sort of sessions with the ICE-ADIS team, startup diagnostics, really focused strategic mentoring, and then helping to prepare you to get in front of investors as part of some showcase events at the tail end of that program. So more details on how, where, what, when, and why will be coming out soon enough. Just bear with us. Okay, so Danny, I think that concludes most of my part. So I'm going to hand over to you now, and then we're going to open up the floor for Q&A.
Thank you. So just this is a quick touch point. As you know, there's a lot of things happening in Catalyst, and sometimes it's very difficult to keep track of everything. Like my Catalyst folder on Telegram holds more than 20 unique chats. So just to make sure that you never miss anything of importance that is related to your funding, that is related to funded projects at large, we have 2 separate chats. One of them is exclusively for announcements, anything related to the coordinator, and the other one is also a chat where you can find us and each other for some, you know, on-demand support when you have some questions or anything of that regard. Now, what we're trying to do is always when there's something important happening, such as like some deadlines looming or something of a big impact, you will be receiving these things via email as well. To that nature, I will encourage you to actually add our communications emails as trusted contact, because right now, like, the list is growing rapidly, and, you know, we can't be circulating messages via regular like Gmail services or something of that sort, because we need to be using like a MailChimp. So just make sure that you add our addresses as trusted, so you don't miss it, so it doesn't skip your inbox and go straight into the spam and whatnot. So I'll paste these links into the chat just in a minute, and just feel free to pop in. These are private chats, so you will always need to be using these links in order to invite your fellow contributors or like fellow team members. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, if you always find a way how to make things more streamlined in terms of communication, you know, doors are open. Let us know. We're iterating every step of the way. You know, I'm reminiscing about the amount of information which was required to know during Fund 2. And now during the Fund 6 and 7 upcoming, like it's whole another world. So thank you for iterating with us and having patience to actually grow through all of that so that we can build this ecosystem collectively. So yeah, let me paste the links in there and feel free to hop in if you haven't. They were also included in the onboarding emails.
Cool. Right, guys. So this is now time for me to stop screen share. Hey, Dom. Good to see you. Dominic, you've got your hand up.
Yeah. Yeah, my hand is up.
How you doing? Do you want to do a quick proof of life since you're here?
Actually, yeah, I'm a bit late, and I could say it's because my plane was late, but the truth is I forgot the time shift of last week. So sorry for being late. And yeah, I think you did a proof of life in the beginning, right? Like in Fund 5. So just
What project were you funded under this fund, and what was the proposal name and challenge?
Yeah, so I represent two proposals actually. So one was in the Proposal Outreach Challenge. The proposal is called Fund 7 and Fund 8 campaign. So it's based on the trailer we did for Fund 6. Yeah, so maybe some of you remember that. So we do a little campaign to increase awareness about Project Catalyst. And the second one is IdeaFest. I think you all know IdeaFest. So I represent this proposal as well, and this was submitted in the Entrepreneur Toolkit Challenge. Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome, Don. Great to have you back. So guys, this is really an opportunity now just to hand over to you, and if there's any questions that you have or any sort of thoughts and feelings, this is a good forum for
Good question.
Yeah, please.
Yes, Catalyst coordinator groups, are they going to be formed? So are we getting contact with the channels? Is it going to be in the future fund, or is it already for Fund 6 now?
It was breaking up a little bit there, so I didn't quite catch it. I think, yeah, can you just say that one more time if you could?
Catalyst coordinator, how is this communication started? How do we get in contact with that for Fund 6?
Yeah, great. So, I mean, let's talk about that. So the coordinator is all of us together, and we will have a bi-weekly meeting, a Zoom meeting like this. The forms will be emailed out, and we'll be making you guys aware that of the deadlines that are on email, should I say. Excuse me, it's the deadlines that will be emailed, but the report forms will always be posted in the Telegram announcements channel. So Danny will typically post the reporting forms on the first week and the third week for you guys to then click and then start filling out. It's a Google form. It's a very, very sort of light touch. I mean, it's meant to be light touch. It's not particularly onerous. I mean, you can provide us as much information as you like, but we don't expect you to be spending a great deal of time on those reports. But the more information that you can give us about your successes, the better it is, right?
You need to follow the Telegram channel.
I think it's important because otherwise you're going to miss out on key information.
Yeah, and I think like initially you will receive them in the email as well. So I think the best practice would just to put some placeholders in your own calendar as well, because unless we will specifically call out that like the reporting structure will change completely, these forms will be same month in, month out. And we generally edit just those links. So if you put them in calendar, you know that the progress report will be always in the beginning of the month, and then the KPI report always towards the end of the month. Then those recycle every month, and we will periodically submit announcements on the Telegram chat and via email as well. But they always stay static, the links as well. So if you put them in a calendar and give yourself reminders, that will help a lot as well.
And are there already resources like is there some contact list also, for example, challenge where I can get in contact?
Marcus, sorry to interrupt you. We can't really hear you very well. Could you ask your question in the chat, perhaps? And I'll hand over to Alain.
Yeah, I had two questions. First one is regarding the funding. We are two that are part of this project, and actually the funding should be split equally. How is this exactly happening? When we got the form, everybody fulfilled the form 2 days ago. Will this be automatically due for both, or is there one that will have to share his part then later on internally?
So if I think I understand you rightly, actually we only need one form for one project. So not every single member of your team needs to complete the progress reports. It's the progress report and the KPI report is based on your project as the whole, right? So if you've got multiple projects, we would expect that you would be filling out a form per project.
Oh, so now I filled up a form and I provide his email address as collaborator, and I think he did the same but reversal on his side. So I don't know if it's messy, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can figure that out. So long as essentially the onboarding form, so long as we know that there's a real person attached to the address.
Yeah, well, there are two even, so yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So this is good. And last thing about the reporting, the monthly, will I get an email with a template or form for the KPI and the progress, or is it something that?
Yeah. So yeah, just to talk a little bit about that, the KPI form particularly, we ask that, as I said, in this first sort of form, maybe you guys have a rethink about what KPIs are really relevant for the scope of the project. And the report is set out in a way that you tell us what those KPIs are, and then how you intend to report on them. And then, we've got it currently set up so that you add numerical values in, right? So, but, that might not be relevant for every single KPI. But the point is that the form is actually very simple. It's just a standard Google form with a series of questions, and you are setting out what your KPI is, and then there's a field for you to tell us how you're going to report.
So there is a kind of template that will be provided for this kind, because otherwise you will have so many different type of reports that it might not be. Oh, okay. Exactly. So for now, until I get it from you per email, there is no to do. As soon as it comes, then we can start on building the relevant reporting, the relevant KPI according to the project.
Exactly that. Yeah, and I mean, we want to create it. We wanted to make it so that it's fluid enough that everybody can kind of follow in some sort of uniform way. We're not expecting people to be, expert project managers, and we don't want at this stage, project plans and Gantt charts and all this kind of stuff. Nothing like that. No one needs to do anything like that. But that would be overkill. Ultimately, it's just about being able to be accountable to the community, really, and be able to show that you're delivering on your return and intention and demonstrating that you're able to do that, right?
I have a last question. Sorry for the others. When you mentioned about the funding, you said that the first part will be about $5,000, but our project is below that. Does it mean that it will be, and plus it's already being funded before the proposal and everything? Does it mean that we can count on having that first funding in one time?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I think what we'll be looking at will be what's reasonable for your project, right? So we'll pick up with Marek about this, and then we can figure it out. But the general practice is that for these sort of maybe smaller value funding projects, that we understand that the likelihood that they're going to be fairly short-term engagements, right? Like I would imagine that it's not months and months and months of work, right? And so it's just what's realistic to the project. We try not to take a case-by-case basis for every single thing, but in certain instances, it has to be on a sort of case-by-case basis. But we'll figure that out with you, Elaine.
Okay, so this will come from you when the time comes. Okay, thank you.
Welcome. So I just want to say good night to Homer unless he's already left. And also just to come back to Marcus's question. So is there some kind of information repository for each Catalyst coordinator group, like a list of projects funded, team members, contacts? So certainly projects funded, you can get that information from the funded results PDF. We don't have, and well, Danny, maybe you can help me on this one a little bit. Like we can't share contacts with everybody at this stage because of GDPR and sort of data privacy laws and whatnot. But we do encourage people to reach out and make each other make yourselves known to each other. The best way for this, I don't think we've landed on yet. I don't think it seems like it would be appropriate for everybody just to be spamming email addresses in the Telegram chats. Might become a little bit bit crazy, but yeah, we could use the coordinator chat. But I would say that maybe there's a better way to do it. I think if we can get everybody's consent, or someone just creates a Google sheet and you ask everybody just to put your email addresses into it, that might be the way to do it. Obviously, we've got a master contact list for everybody, but it's important that you guys get consent from each other to share contacts.
And I think a lot of like now funded projects and also things which are coming out of the community is creating those spaces where, you know, looking at those auditing circles, looking at all those like, the contacts and whatnot. And I think it will be part of it, that sooner or later there will be like a public facing depository that not only like people within the coordinator can reach out between one another in an effective way if they want to support each other, but also like community members, right? Because there's a lot of opportunities out there from people that actually have knowledge, have experience, and just want to help you work on your projects. Or maybe it will be also working the other way around, right? When you're looking for help to work on your projects as well. So I think a couple of community members are already working on that. So I anticipate it will be just a matter of time before it becomes more user-friendly and accessible. And we're still in the times of the Google Sheets and whatnot, and we need to maneuver all of those privacy laws on our end, because we will be still liable for certain things. But as far as the community picking up these things, I would expect that to happen sooner or later, because we already see the seeds of that happening right now.
Indeed. Hey, Rob.
Hello. Maybe someone should do a proposal for DIGCOM implementation of a teleprism so we can just message each other securely. There you go. A couple of questions to do more with the Eastern Town Hall proposals, which I didn't talk about, but one of them is to do a kind of startup weekend, kind of like onboarding process in Indonesia that we got. So I'm interested to know if we can get a sneak peek into the case-based learning bootcamp process to make sure the program that we develop is aligned with what's going on in terms of the boot camp and stuff like that, to see where we can develop the program for what we're doing. Would be really useful in that regard.
Yeah. Let's just you and I pick up on that offline, and I'll be happy to not only share some resources but introduce you to the entrepreneurial team. No probs.
Okay, that would be cool. There was one other question, but I've just forgotten what it is.
As Chris, in this regard, we are teaming up also with Immorgo, because they have a quite strong presence in Indonesia already. The goal is there as well to start in Immorgo, because the language barrier is quite lower than in Vietnam or Japanese, for example, and to generate a playbook for local communities so that we can directly go there and say, here you go. So,
yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. Cool. Has the question come back to you, Rob? It will do, in the middle of the night. Okay, has anybody else got any questions? Anybody else have anything that they want some info from us about? Does everybody feel pumped?
Well, one thing, what I would like to propose, we have the town halls, where you mentioned already, hey, for example, if you want to go into the town halls to present your project, we have also problem is that detection might be not so big, but you also have the after town halls. So if you have your project, if you're looking for collaborators, want to go deeper in your project, reach out to us, take a place in the after town hall, invite the community, and maybe even start to build your team there directly. So the floor is there for you.
Amazing. Thanks very much, Felix. It's such a generous offer, right? That we've got all this great power of the community and all these different touch points and opportunities to provide platform and showcase what you guys are doing. Alejandro, how you doing?
Hey, great. Thank you. In terms of dates, when are we supposed to start filling up these forms? Since next month?
Yeah, actually, it'll be later on this month. The first report that you will be asked to complete will be the KPI report. And as I said, what I'd encourage you all to do is just look at it with through the lens of do we need to change anything from what we proposed 3 months ago, right? So that what it is you're going to be reporting on over the course of your project is able to be reported on, right? That's going to be the first thing to tackle. For those of you that aren't going to change your KPIs, listen, we don't expect there's going to be much that would have been greatly achieved over the course of the next 2 weeks. You're just getting started. There's no real pressure on everybody or anyone to be blowing things out of the water in terms of your progress and your KPIs or whatever. This is really just an opportunity in this first couple of weeks just to sort of really look at, does what we're sort of saying we're going to be audited against and measured against, does it make sense?
It does, thanks. And secondly, for those that we have to pay for our team, when we're supposed to get the first round of fund or release of the first payment?
Marek, welcome to the onboarding session. Why don't you pick up this one?
When what? Sorry, could you repeat?
Alejandro, can you repeat your question, please?
Sure. Hey, Marek.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
When are we supposed to get the first payment received?
Next month, within by the 7th day of next month. So before the December 7th. But it will be in the first week of December. Basically, every single payment batch will be sent in the first week of each month, based on 2 reports, progress and KPI. If you miss one report, most probably Khalid, present here, will try to ping you saying, hey, if you want to get funds, please submit a report. But, we have a lot of on plates, so I'm not sure if Khalid or Roberta or Chris or me, if we will be able always to ping you or anyone else. So please submit the reports.
Yeah, and just to clarify this point real quick. So this is the general cadence of funds once all of the funding begins, right? So it's I believe it's not going to be the case that the first batch of funds for Fund 6 will come only a month from now, but there are a series of steps that need to be concluded before that happens. Namely, we also need to test that the wallets are real. So we're going to go through all of you individual wallets with the test transactions so that we send you just like one ADA, you say like, yes, that's the legit ADA before we send you the big chunk of the payment following. And this will be happening over the course next week, 2 or 3 at most, depending on how quickly we get through the entire cohort. But then on the general cadence of the payments, these will be always by, during the first week of each month on those individual payments, not the first one. So you guys will not be waiting a month to get the first batch of payments. Yeah, that was just for once we get settled. But first we'll be testing all the wallets so that we know that the money's going into the right place. There's no refunds on blockchain, supposedly.
Yeah, correct. And test transactions will be out next week, hopefully at the beginning of next week. And the first batch of payment, we will do what we can to send it within 2 weeks, I would say. But again, if you got this transaction, please confirm it via email, Telegram, like anywhere, and tag me and Danny.
Cool. Okay, guys. Anything else? Anything else we want to cover at this point? Okay. Well, listen. That's it. We're there to conclude your onboarding. Well done. We passed level 2, proof of life done. Well done, everybody. Really congratulations once more from us and the team. You really are the risk takers and the crazy ones to be part of this great experiment. We really appreciate every single one of you, and I really hope that over the course of the weeks and months that we can learn more about your great projects. We're able to showcase some really good progress, and we'll be in another coordinator meeting in a couple of weeks' time. We will see you then. Have a great weekend. we've got a new member coming to the coordinator. I would say for everybody else, if you want to drop off now, feel free. Thanks very much for your time and attention today. It's a good session. Great to meet you all. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Out.
Welcome, Javier. Would you like to introduce yourself?
We got a few.
Yeah, I was in the chat on Twitter. Maybe some missing time zones, whatnot, but we've got a few later fixed.
Yeah, sorry for joining late. Hi, I'm Javier. I'm one of the co-founders of Tango Crypto. Well, we got approved by the community. We got a lot of support. We got a lot of votes and from a lot of wallets. And so, yeah, we are very, very happy with the results. I couldn't believe it once I saw it. I was like, wow. I think that we ended up having like most of the votes. It was crazy. I was.
What was the proposal and which challenge were you in? And
yeah,
where are you calling in from?
We were in the developer ecosystem challenge. Our proposal is software as a service for Cardano. Basically, the idea is to provide access to Cardano through API services and webhooks. So if you want to know like the latest blog, you want